Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Word tables can contain much of the functionality of a spreadsheet, so if you want to store and crunch numbers in a Word table, Word can assist you in doing that. In order to create cells that will add, subtract, multiply, and divide numbers, you must insert formulas into the cells where you want to display the answers to the mathematical operations. Now, formulas perform calculations on the values of cells in a table. Formulas will always start with an equal sign to tell Word that they're simply not regular text. They consist of cell addresses from which they gather the information used in the calculations. These cell addresses can then be linked together with operators like the plus sign, the minus sign, the asterisk for multiplication, or the forward slash for division. Now you can also perform functions on selected cells, like sum, which would add all the selected cells. So a formula might be expressed as equals sum above, which would add all of the cells above the cell where you'd inserted the formula. Now, we mentioned a cell address. So what is a cell address? Well, a cell address is the relative location of a cell within the table. Imagine that there are letters at the top of each column that you've created, starting with A at the far left and continuing to increase one letter at a time to the right. So this column would be column A. This is B, this is C, D, E, and F. Also, we have rows that would start with row 1 at the top and then continue downward, increasing by 1 for each row. So this would be row 1, this is row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. So the cell address is the column letter plus the row number. So for example, this cell right here is cell A1 because it's in column A, row 1. This cell right here would be C4 because it's in column C, row 4. So what does a formula look like? Well, as stated previously, a formula always begins with an equal sign and is usually followed by the cell addresses of the cells that you want to perform the mathematical functions on, joined with the other cell addresses using the standard mathematical operators. So for example, let's say that I wanted to add up all the values here in this wage rate column. Well, first I'm going to click into the lower right hand corner and hit Tab to insert a new row. And then I'll tab over to the place where I would like to insert the formula. Then I can choose Table from the menu bar and select Formula. And here they give me a standard formula, equals sum above. And that would add, for the selected cell, all of the cells that were above it. Another way of expressing this would be to use the actual cell references and the standard mathematical operators. So the value that has a 9 in it would be cell A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2. So I could say equals E2 plus E3 plus E4 plus E5. That would be the same thing as equals sum above. It's just a different way of writing it. And then we would click OK. And you can see that it puts in the correct answer in the cell in which we had clicked. Now, instead of displaying exactly what we typed in the cell displays the answer, because the equal sign tells Word that what we typed in was not text, it's a formula. You're not, however, allowed to simply type it directly in the cell. And formulas always display the results, not their actual contents, which is why we see the 32.75. And notice that an easier way would have been just to go to Table Formula and let it accept the default of equals sum, which is the function we want to perform, and above, which is the cell range upon which we want to perform that function. That would have also given us the correct answer.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.